The silence that stretches between us now is a chasm of your own making, not mine. I watch you, my child, as you stare into the middle distance, your jaw set, your eyes glazed with a resentment you believe is justified. You feel the weight of my gaze, and you mistake it for judgment, so you turn your head a fraction more, a deliberate act of defiance that echoes in the hollows of heaven. That small movement, that turning away, is a pain sharper than any nail. After all I sacrificed, you still turn your face away. Do you remember? Or have the memories been clouded by the fleeting passions of this world? Let me remind you. Let me pour the balm of remembrance into the wound of your forgetting. It was not one night, but 1,000. When the fever gripped your small body and your breath came in ragged, frightened gasps, the world, the busy, bustling world with its appointments and ambitions, walked away. It closed its doors and drew its curtains. But I stayed. I sat beside the bed your earthly parents provided, and I did not simply watch. I fought. I commanded angels to stand at the thresholds of your life, to battle the shadows of sickness that sought to claim you. I cupped my hands around your flickering spirit and breathed my own life into your lungs. You felt a coolness on your brow in the sweltering night, a sudden, inexplicable peace that let you finally sleep. That was the hem of my garment, brushing against your consciousness. And the storms. You think the storms you weathered were only those of circumstance and heartbreak. But for every gale that threatened to tear the roof from your hopes, I was the one who whispered, "Peace, be still." I did not always still the storm around you, for I was teaching you to trust me in the wind and the waves, but I always stilled the storm within you, if you would but let me. When the thunder of accusation and fear roared in your ears, I was the silent, steady rhythm of a heart that never panics, never falters. I broke traps you never even saw. The slander that was poised to destroy your reputation, I let it snag on a truth that emerged just in time. The financial collapse that would have left you destitute, I diverted with an unexpected provision you called luck. The relationship that would have ensnared your soul, I severed with a pain you could not understand, a pain you cursed me for, not knowing I was pulling you from the jaws of a beast. You think I am far. You measure distance by the silence between words, but I inhabit the space between your heartbeats. You move through your days feeling a solitude you believe is my absence, when in truth, it is the echo chamber of your own turned back. I have never left. Not for a second. Not when you screamed profanities at the sky, blaming me for a tragedy I wept to watch. Not when you drowned your senses in pleasures that left you emptier than before. I was the unwavering light in the room you insisted on darkening. I was the steady, gentle pull on your spirit, a perpetual invitation home. You think I am silent. But what is my voice, if not the very breath in your lungs? Each inhalation is a gift from me, a wordless whisper of, "I sustain you." The rustling of leaves in the oak tree you pass each morning, that complex, soothing sound, that is a love song I composed for you. The kindness in a stranger's eyes when you felt most invisible, the unexpected verse in a song that seemed to speak directly to your wound, the sudden, warm memory of a joy you thought was lost, these are all syllables in the endless poem I am speaking over you. I have been speaking through every sunrise that paints the horizon with promises of new mercies, through every act of selfless love you witness in a world gone selfish, through every stubborn flicker of hope that refused to be extinguished in the cavern of your despair. You have been listening to the shouting of the world, and you have mistaken my quiet, persistent tenderness for silence. I gave you everything. Not as a transaction. Not because you earned it with your good deeds or your perfect prayers. You could never earn it. I gave it because I love you. It is my nature to love. I loved you in the unformed, silent eternity before the foundations of the world were laid. I loved you when you were a secret thought in my heart, a dream of fellowship and joy. I loved you when you took your first breath and your name was whispered in the courts of heaven. I loved you before you ever learned to form the syllables of my name on your lips. I loved you in your doubt. When you shook your fist at the sky and cried, God, if you are even there, why have you forgotten me? I was collecting every tear that fell from your face. Each one was sacred. They did not evaporate into nothingness, they fell into the cupped hands of the one who was wounded for you. I did not merely observe your pain from a celestial throne, I entered into it. I felt the crushing weight of your anxiety in the Garden of Gethsemane. I knew the sting of betrayal long before you ever felt it. Every fear you carried, I carried it with you, a burden I willingly took upon my own shoulders so you would not have to bear it alone. When I saw you lost, wandering in the fog of your own poor choices, I did not point a finger of condemnation. I sent light. A glimmer of truth in a friend's counsel. A sudden, clear thought in the midst of your confusion. A scripture that leapt from the page as if written just for that moment. I sent my Spirit to hover over the chaos of your life, just as he hovered over the waters at the dawn of creation, ready to bring forth order and beauty from the void. When you hid in the shame of your failure, wrapping the tattered garments of your pride around you, I covered you with mercy. I did not expose your nakedness to the world. I drew a curtain of grace around you, giving you space to heal, to breathe, to come to your senses without the crushing weight of public scrutiny. When you sinned, willfully turning from the path of life, I did not condemn you. I waited. Like the father of the prodigal, I paced the ramparts of heaven, my gaze fixed on the horizon, my heart aching for the first glimpse of your return. My judgment was suspended by a love that is stronger than justice. I stretched my hands across eternity for you. I reached from the timeless into time, from the infinite into your finite moment of need. My sacrifice was not a thing, an object, a mere offering. It was myself. I sacrificed my heart. I tore open the very core of my being, the perfect, holy fellowship of the Trinity, and I let the darkness of your sin rush in. I gave my Son. I watched as he, who was the perfect expression of my love, became the receptacle for your hatred, your pride, your lust, your deceit. He became sin who knew no sin, so that in him, you might become the righteousness of God. I sacrificed my own divine peace, turning away from the beloved so that I could turn toward you, forever. All for you. A love so reckless, so unconditional, so utterly profound that the cosmos itself shuddered in disbelief. And yet, you turn your face away. With all that I have done, with the price so incontrovertibly paid, you still choose to look elsewhere. It is the great mystery of free will, a mystery that brings both ecstasy and agony to my heart. You chase what wounds you. You return to the dry well of addiction, drawing up another bucket of brackish water, and you call it comfort. You give your heart, again and again, to those who treat it as a temporary plaything, who break it with careless hands, and you call this cycle of pain, love. You fill your ears with the noise of the world, the clamor of entertainment, the shouting of opinions, the siren song of success, and in the exhaustion that follows, you mistake the numbness for life. But I am the life. The uncreated, self-existent, eternal life that was breathed into the dust to make you a living soul. That life never ends. It cannot be extinguished by death, nor can it be satisfied by the shadows you pursue. I am the breath inside your lungs. The very power that enables you to draw air is a loan from me, a testament to my sustaining grace. And the cruelest irony, the deepest cut, is that I am the one who gave you the voice, the will, the capacity to call out. I fashioned your lips and placed a longing for worship in your heart. And you use that voice, that sacred instrument, to call every other name but mine. You cry out to lovers, to leaders, to substances, to philosophies, to your own fragile self, any name that seems closer, more tangible, more immediately gratifying than mine. My child, why? Why do you run from the only love that will never betray you? I see the frantic search in your eyes. I see you trying to find peace in a meditation app, in a vacation, in the acquisition of more things, in the approval of fickle people, places that are not holy, that have no power to truly sanctify and restore the soul. I see you hoping for joy in the hands of those who do not care for the eternal state of your spirit, who are using you for their own fleeting pleasure or purpose. I see you pretending. This, perhaps, is what breaks my heart the most. I see you behind the closed door, after the performance is over. The smile you plastered on for the world has melted away, leaving only the weary lines of despair. You clutch your knees to your chest and rock back and forth, trying to be your own comforter. You tell yourself you are strong, you are independent, you can handle this. But in the quiet, secret place of your spirit, all you want to do is fall, to fall into my everlasting arms and finally rest. You are like a toddler fighting sleep, rubbing your eyes and insisting you are not tired, when all the while a warm, safe bed awaits you. You lift your eyes to the ceiling and whisper, God, where are you? As if I am a distant deity in a hidden castle. But I have been here all along. I am in the warmth of the sun on your face this very morning. I was in the smile of the barista who handed you coffee and, for a moment, made you feel seen. I am in the resilient hope that, despite every reason to give up, still flickers in the deepest part of you, that stubborn refusal to completely surrender to the darkness. I am not the God of distance, I am the God who dwells within you. Your body is a temple, not a tomb. Even when you turned your face away, I never turned mine. My gaze has remained fixed upon you, filled not with anger, but with a love so fierce it would consume you if you dared to look upon it fully. I have watched you chase shadows, mistaking them for substance. And I waited. I did not force you to stop. I respected the terrible, glorious freedom I gave you. I watched you fall, tripping over the lies you believed were truth. And I caught you. You did not notice how the ground seemed to soften at the last second, how the consequences were not as catastrophic as they should have been. You called it a close call. I called it grace. You did not see the angels I dispatched, celestial bodyguards deflecting dangers seen and unseen. You did not understand why that door slammed shut, why that opportunity vanished. You called it misfortune, rejection, failure. I called it salvation. I was removing from your path what I knew would ultimately destroy you, even as you wept over the loss. I was prying your fingers from a cup of poison you were determined to drink, and you fought me, thinking I was depriving you of nectar. I am the one who heard the prayer you never spoke. The desperate, wordless plea that formed in your soul during the long, dark night of the soul. The God, help me, that was too heavy to articulate. I heard it as clearly as if it had been shouted from a mountaintop. I am the one who saw the pain you tried to hide behind your bright-eyed smile and busy schedule. I saw the fracture in your spirit, the hidden shame, the secret grief. And I am the one who forgave you long before you could ever muster the strength to forgive yourself. While you were still rehearsing your confession, stained with self-loathing, the verdict in heaven had already been declared, not guilty. Covered by the blood of the Lamb. Do you remember that night? The one you have tucked away in the darkest corner of your memory, the one you never speak of? The night you sat on the edge, the cold hardness of despair pressing in from all sides. You thought no one cared if you lived or died. You believed your absence would be a relief to the world, a minor inconvenience soon forgotten. My child, I was there. I was holding the fragments of your shattering heart, gathering them as they fell, labeling each one with a promise of redemption. When you were too tired, too numb, too broken to form a single word of prayer, I was whispering your name. I was singing the song of Zion over you, a lullaby of home and belonging. And even in that moment, in the depths of your desolation, you turned away from me. You thought your darkness was too deep for my light to penetrate. You believed your unworthiness was a final, impassable barrier. But you were never unworthy. You were chosen before the foundation of the world. You were cherished enough to die for. You were redeemed with a price so precious it can never be devalued by your feelings or your failures. My love for you is not a response to your performance. It is the very foundation of your existence. I do not love you for what you do, I love you for who you are, mine. You belong to me. You are stamped with my image. You are my craftsmanship. Even when you forget your identity, even when you live like a pauper when you are a royal heir, the truth does not change. You are my heartbeat walking through the world, and every step you take, no matter how wayward, echoes in the chambers of my being. I sacrificed heaven's perfect, unbroken peace to bring you eternal grace. I tore the veil of the temple from top to bottom so that you could enter boldly into my presence. I took the weight of every sin, past, present, and future, and sank it into the depths of the sea of forgetfulness, so you would not have to live another moment under the cruel whip of shame. I bore the cross. I endured the wrath. I tasted death. Not to demand from you a perfection you could never achieve, but to show you a love that defies all human reason, a love that is stronger than your darkest sin. I gave you the freedom to choose, and you have used that freedom to run from me, the very source of your life. Yet, even now, watching you run, I am not angry. My anger was poured out on the sun. There is none left for you. There is only a waiting, aching, compassionate love. Come home, my beloved. The word is simple, but it contains the sum of all my desires for you. Come home. Turn your face back toward me. You do not need to clean yourself up first. You do not need to have the right words. I do not ask for perfection, I ask for your presence. I ask for your attention. Look at me. Lift your eyes, even through your tears, even through your shame, and look in my direction. And when you do, you will find that I have never stopped looking at you. My gaze has been steady, filled with a father's pride and a mother's tenderness. Let me heal what others broke. The trust that was shattered, the innocence that was stolen, the love that was betrayed, bring the pieces to me. I am the master restorer. Let me hold what you dropped. Your dreams, your confidence, your hope, I have been safeguarding them all this time. Let me breathe new life into the places you thought were beyond repair, the relationships you labeled dead, the passions you declared extinct. I know the world has hardened you. It has taught you to be cynical, to build walls, to trust no one, not even me. But my love is not here to destroy you, it is here to rebuild you. It is a fire that does not consume, but refines. You can cry here. You can scream here. You can be brutally, devastatingly honest about your doubt, your anger, your disappointment in me, in others, in yourself. This is a safe place. I already know it all. I know the depth of your pain, the specificity of your fears, the catalog of your mistakes. And still, with full knowledge, I call you mine. My love is not blind, it sees everything and chooses to love anyway. When you turn away, you are like a plant turning from the sun. You are turning from the very light that made you, that sustains you, that enables you to grow and flourish. You wilt in the shadows, thinking you have found independence, when you are only courting death. But when you turn back, even a little, even a hesitant, sideways glance of faith, I do not stand still. I run. I run toward you with open arms, my heart bursting with joy. My mercy is not a reluctant concession, it is an eager, rushing river that meets you at the very point of your brokenness. It does not wait for you to become worthy, it makes you worthy. I sacrificed everything, the cross is the eternal proof, to demonstrate a singular, universe-altering truth, that love is stronger than death, stronger than sin, stronger than your most profound doubt. And that love, that victorious, resurrected love, is what I offer you. Freely. Not once, but again and again. Every morning, it is new. Every moment, it is available. You have not fallen too far. My arm of grace is longer than your deepest descent. You have not lost too much. I am a God of restoration, and I specialize in beauty for ashes. You have not been forgotten. Your name is engraved on the palms of my hands. I am near. Closer than your next breath. I am calling. My voice is the quiet, persistent whisper in your conscience that urges you toward light, toward life, toward love. I am whispering to your spirit even now, as you read these words, come closer, my child. You do not have to journey all the way home in one leap. Just come closer. Lay it down. All of it. The burden of proving yourself, you were already approved at the cross. The weight of managing your own reputation, your identity is hidden in Christ. The guilt that you clutch to your chest like a prized possession, thinking it proves you are penitent, it was never yours to carry. I carried it so you wouldn't have to. Let it go. Let me remind you of who you truly are, who I have always declared you to be, loved with an everlasting love, forgiven completely, chosen before time, an eternal being destined for glory. After all I sacrificed, after the cross and the empty tomb, after 2,000 years of your wandering and forgetting, I still choose you. My choice is not fickle. It is not based on your fidelity, but on mine. Even when you turn away, my love does not waver. Even when you break my heart with your indifference, I reach out to heal yours with my compassion. So, look at me now. Not as a concept, not as a religious figure, but as your Father. Your Redeemer. Your first and greatest lover. I am not your punishment, I am your promise of a future and a hope. I am not your judge, I am your advocate who has already settled your case. I am not angry, I am aching for you to see yourself through my eyes, to see the soul I still deem worth saving, worth loving, worth dying for. So, turn your face. It is a simple movement, but it is the most significant one you will ever make. Turn your face back toward the light. Feel its warmth on your skin. Let it thaw the frozen places inside you. Let my love, like a liquid gold, fill every crack, every fissure, every wound, until you are whole. Until you remember what it felt like to be truly, vibrantly, eternally alive. You are not too far gone. The prodigal was in a foreign country, feeding pigs, and he was still within earshot of his father's love. You are not too late. It is the now of salvation. You are still mine. And I am still here.